So I'm redoing. Hold up. So I'm redoing this video for like my fifth freaking time, bro. Cause I thought the last one was good, but I forgot to freaking name my confluences, bro. So I literally just showed the trade and I was like, here, look at this trade I took. But let me go back and freaking explain it, okay? But first we're gonna do some trolling, and I'm gonna explain something. So I took a break last week, Thursday, Friday, and then I ended up hitting my head on Friday. I was in Florida. Okay, I went with my mom and shit. We were having a good time. We were drinking, and then I freaking was playing with. Okay, this is gonna sound a little weird, but okay. So it was pretty. It was pretty nice. I was like 70, and I was like chilling, drinking in the hot tub, talking to some adults about like shit and like money and like I'm trying to like travel to places and shit. And and the kids was like fucking with me. So I was like, I was like, oh yeah, guys, just chill. Like all my cousins are like young and or whatever. So I was like showing off a little bit, and I was like doing backflips in the pool. I was doing gainers and shit. And then like they're like, oh, this pool is too cold. This pool's too cold. So we went to like the kid pool, and yeah, I was still doing some tricks and shit. I did a suicide dive, and I forgot I was like super drunk as shit, and I was like trolling with these kids, and it was like hella shallow, so I did a suicide dive and I freaking tuck and I smacked my head on the floor, and my shit's fucking gushing. And I ended up waking hungover with a concussion and a freaking egg on my forehead the size of a freaking golf ball. You could literally palm and grip my head and move me side to side and shit just by grabbing my freaking forehead, bro. It was bad. But anyways, we're gonna do a trade recap. Oh, I forgot. I said we are gonna troll first. I need help finding it, cause this dude, bro, this dude Carson, bro. I mentioned him before. He's trading Asia. I just needed help looking for this. I'll delete this again. Yeah, this dude Carson trading the Asia session, bro. Like, what are you doing? And we're gonna troll him a little bit, see what his confluences even were. Um, so he low-key does have a IFVG right here, along with the change of the state. You could even say like breakup structure down here. Um, and he ended up entering down here at this 1 minute. Oh my gosh, this shit is sad as fuck. Not Carson, this freaking what I'm listening to. And I think he was targeting this wick, maybe something like that. I don't know exactly what his confluences were, but we're just making shit up here. Fibonacci right here. He could have top ticked this John. It does tick this 0.79 mark on the Fibonacci right here. Um, yeah, and I guess he was trading this freaking Asia session while I'm recording this video and shit, bye. So we're gonna look. We're gonna look. I think it was. I just looked on Discord. He just shouted it out. He was on a 2 minute time frame. Oh my gosh, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so I think it was something like this trade right here. I think I had to like right there for something. And I don't even know, bruh. He just be trading, I guess. Carson, don't do this shit, bro. Come on, we gotta lock in, bro. We gotta lock in for realsies. But he did say this one was paper, so I don't know. Um, but yeah, we'll go to my trade. Yesterday, I was actually in the airport trading yesterday. Okay, lucky me. I'm a freaking day trader. I can trade off my freaking phone. Um, so coming in on the day yesterday, we had this S&T at the lows. It's pretty big S&T. Um, pretty big SMT, and we ended up V-shaping out of it. We ended up flipping a lot of 1 hours, to actually just 2 hour 1 hour 2 1 hours right there, and then um unfortunately for me, I did not take a pre-market open trade, um, which I mean I usually don't anyways, but there were some super good opportunities. I did look on the 5 and the 50 minute. So there was a lot of good opportunities because I think we were super bullish. I actually would have taken a trade if I was on my phone, but I was in TSA during this time right here. And yeah, market opened and ripped freaking 90 points in the first 1 minute candle. We ended up leaving 15-minute equal lows and a 50-minute unmitigated fair value gap. Um, but yeah, and so we were looking. We're obviously after a big freaking 1 minute candle like that, we took out Asia high in the first 3 minutes, and then I would have loved to see like this, like a retracement or something down here, and then a V shape back up, just because I knew we were super bullish, or like something like sweeping these lows out and then V shaping out. Um, but that just didn't happen. And yeah, I actually just got done with TSA right as market opened as well. So we were just watching it rise and take out my freaking draws on liquidities. I really wanted these relative equal highs, but we didn't get it, and we did end up trading this um dude, why is my freaking shoulder so itchy? This trade that we took, okay? If you look right here, there's a 5 minute gap right here. There's a 5 minute gap right here. We can mark it out. What do we want to see for continuation, guys? We want to see a 5 minute fair value gap get hit, yeah, or a 15-minute fair value gap hit, or both, because both would be a high time frame PRA and a low time frame PRA. Which the PRA is just fair value gap, guys. High time frame would be 15 minutes and higher. Low time frame would be 5 minutes and lower. So yeah. Boom. High time frame PRA, low time frame PRA. The reason we faded this one right here, this upward move right here, was because it was way too premium. Okay, it's not A plus grade if you take this one right here. Okay, and I'm on live account, so I'm super picky about my trades, you know. But yeah, that was way too premium. We could even mark it out on the 5 minute here. This upward leg. This upward leg right here. It's this 0.31, gets a reaction out of it, but that's it. I don't really care about that. But that was premium. And then we enter in this lower 5 minute fair value gap that's actually in discount. This is where you want to buy. This is where you want to buy, okay? You want to sell in premium, buy in discount. Buy in discount, right? This is the 0.5 of the equilibrium and below. We hit the 0.5. This is where the market buyers enter trades at, okay? So yes, this is the more likely to hold 5 minute and 15 minute, whatever. We do get a 30-second inversion. Pretty cheap trade. We are half risk. There is a news folder on this Monday, but we were still just half risk just because I don't really trust Mondays. I don't really like Mondays, but we had a pretty cheap stop like that, and then we targeted this LR right here was our like draw, sort of like we were expecting that to at least get hit, especially, and then we had this break even right here. This is our break even, and then our Drawing liquidity was this 1 minute for value gap. It doesn't. Okay, well, obviously we're on the 30-second, but this is actually a 1 minute for value gap right here. Yeah. So that was our target right there. We were actually about to board the plane. We started boarding at like 10:30. So I took the easiest trade. I could have targeted um all the way to like right here. I think this is the previous note. Like right here. But I would have already been on the freaking plane. But so yeah, I got out pretty quick. I was at the airport trading, half risk, or whatever. Okay, that was that. And then today we did have a bullish bias still. We were sitting in kind of the like 100 point range right here, and I wanted to see like a manipulation to take out this low, this Asia low and this New York PM low, because we want to see an AMD setup, and um this New York PM low was actually like a 4 hour candle as well, and I think this was a 1 hour for value gap right here this wick. Yeah, yeah. Okay, it says 10 right there, so it's likely right there. Um, but yeah, so we want to see a reversal out of that, but we didn't love it. Especially after this 50-minute candle closed, inversing, you know, all of like these fair value gaps. Like every single fair value gap got inverse right here, or I mean right here and right here, whatever. And we did sweep out of the consequent encroachment of this um 1 hour big ass 1 hour fair value gap right here. And we swept. I'm gonna delete these because I did want to see these get swept, but did the reason I had a bullish bias in the first place was because London high and this relative high were literally right next to each other, and our next draw would be higher for New York AM high, and all these grouped up highs over here. So that's why I was bullish, but I did have to flip my bias just because this 15-minute big Drake candle to the downside, inversing all these fair value gaps and whatever. So the strength just looked way bearish, especially after 230-point move downside in the first 15 minutes. So that is our confluences right there. We delivered from a 1 and 4 hour. We inversed a 50-minute. We retested this 15-minute, and we got a V shape to the downside. Now you could be thinking like, okay, we do get this decently clean 2 minute to the upside here, after sweeping this, and then like a 4 hour and a 1 hour. But if we were super bullish, if you guys are watching, or we can even zoom in on the 1 minute too. So you guys are watching, it's super choppy. I don't like how much candles it took to V shape. Like 1, 2, 3, right? It inverse after 3, but it was super slow. It was super choppy. And the delivery was just too butt. So I think they manipulated, and with this 50-minute IFVG right above, that was our last confluence, and it delivered with speed. Is this technically? Well, technically, it'd be like that. So I mean, I don't know. We do hit like that 0.79, but I don't think that really matters. But anyways, a retest into this 50-minute IFVG, and then it V shapes cleanly, a clean V shape to the downside. So we enter shorts right there, right? This is all going through my head. We slowly retested this 50-minute IFVG, and we deliver to the downside right after. We got a nice V shape. We enter. The reason my stop looks like that is because I was also looking at the 30-second, I believe. just freaking delete this green background. Not this green background though. Um, but yeah, it's because I was on the 36. That's why my stop looked like that. It was at the top of this candle. Um, but yeah, if you were also watching the 30-second, this downward leg is separated by this upward candle right here. This downward leg is already balanced by this upward candle right here. So this three consecutive candles have like, okay, so there's actually two 30-second periods that get inversed right here, but it ticks, literally pinpoint ticks this 0.62 mark, which is like, that is pretty much almost the last spot you want to see it go. Otherwise, this 0.79. So my stop should literally be like probably like right there. But this 0.79, it could wick it, ticket, and just freaking deliver from there. But it actually just ticks this 0.62 mark. So I'm thinking we're extra bullish. I mean, extra bearish, just because it ticks it and then delivers right after it, you know? So that was just like an extra thing to see while I was in like drawdown. Um, but yeah, we V shape and then we freaking delivered to the downside off this 30-second. Um, and it was so freaking clean. One of the cleanest trades I've ever entered. And look at all these black candles, right? All these freaking black candles. This is like all you want to see when you're shorting, bro. It just super freaking clean. My first TP was this line right here. I had two cons. Obviously, I had two TPs, two lines. This is my BE right there. This might have been my BE though, just because it was so much points. 35 points. Yeah, it could have been my BE as well. But I'm not even sure. Yeah, 35 points. We get a nice flush past both of them anyways. But yeah, so I was honestly BE pretty fast. So yeah, first CP was this huge 15-minute FVG right here. I honestly could have went lower with it. I could have went something like, honestly, I could have went something like this down here. Like this would be my TP1 and this would be my TP2. But I mean, this was honestly my final draw, but I just went out at this TP or this line right here. So this first one is this big old 15-minute. I stopped cussing on my freaking YouTube. Big old 15-minute. That's my first TP. Because we don't want to see reversals out of it. So we want to secure our money, get out. And the second one is inside of this big old 15-minute. There's a big old 5-minute. That's our second TP. But if it flushed through that, just like it was flushing through this 15-minute, I actually started trailing just in case. So we get this, so we almost hit it and we flushed through. I started trailing actually, so my stop was like right here at this line. And then we don't touch it, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then we keep, I'm like waiting. I'm still here. And then we get this candle right here. I'm above this candle, and then we go down again. We flush, and I'm above this candle. This is where it was originally. And then we come back up. I thought it was gonna flush again, but it freaking explodes back up. And I was fully out right there. So yeah, I left that second one as a runner, but that would have been my second TP right there. I can actually delete these now because this should be the last video. I think I just explained all my confluence and stuff. Retesting this 15-minute because I didn't mention that one the first one. But yeah, we ended up running like freaking 400 more points to the downside, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. I had a pretty good day. Pretty happy about my day at least. And I'm excited for the rest of the week, rest of the month, rest of the year. But yeah, I was actually watching still, but I couldn't find any entries because this is my last draw right here, but we ended up delivering without like a 5-minute retracement or something. And then yeah, like 30 minutes later we go into this 15-minute and then deliver more. But You know, that's I was already done for the day. I freaking have a concussion. I'm freaking like can't withstand much screen time, you know. But I am trying to push through for these freaking videos and whatnot. So yeah. Um, so tomorrow would be super interesting because we V-shaped to the downside right here. We kind of slowed up here. I mean, tech it was Asia and London, but yeah, we slowed up here, then delivered to the downside. So I'm pretty excited. I think we should come back and like tap this 4 hour maybe, just because it's so big. I wanted to see it mitigated, and this big ass, big old 1 hour. Plus, I do have stuff marked out, like all this LR, and lyric lunch high and whatever. Yeah, so I think there's just a lot of BPR gaps up here. BPR would be like IFVGs plus FVG. Like right here, this IFVG, there's really no retest into it, and then on the 4 hours, same thing. So yeah, it's gonna be super interesting tomorrow. Kind of low-key excited to see what happens. We got all these draws lower. I think this should be the lowest it goes. I mean, this unmitigated daily, bullish. But it's kind of hard to say. Yeah, there's a lot of like different factors that could play in as well. Um, Different evidence and stuff to back like what I'm trying to say and stuff. But it's just gonna take way too long. And this video is honestly just a little too long than I wanted it to be. But yeah, you should have seen the first video, dude. I was freaking yapping about like mentality and like mental capacity. Like, do you really want it? And and I was like, it was like a therapy session. And yeah, I have to delete that one. But anyways, I will be trading. I just uploaded another video. I forgot to upload it, and um, yeah, this one should be coming out tonight as well. And I will be trading rest of the month, I think. So yeah.